the stars, look how they shine for you. And everything you do, yeah, they were all yellow. I came along, I wrote a song for you. And all the things you do, and it was called yellow. So then I took my turn. Oh, what a thing to have done. And it was all yellow. Your skin, oh yeah, your skin and bones turn into something beautiful. And you know I love you so. You know I love you so. I swam across, I jumped across for you. Oh, what a thing to do. 'Cause you were all yellow. I drew a line, I drew a line for you. Oh, what a thing to do. And it was all yellow. Your skin, oh yeah, your skin and bones turn into something beautiful. And you know, for you I bleed myself dry. For you I bleed myself dry. It's true. Look how they shine for you. 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 Look how they shine. Look at the stars. Look how they shine for you. And all the things that you do.
Color me your color, baby. Color me your heart. Color me your color, darling. I know
All right. Well, it's a flex night. We're running just a few minutes late because we have some incredible things to go over today. So, Corey, how you doing?
I'm muted as always.
As always. Well, I'll tell you right now, it has been a crazy, crazy week. I know we've got a lot of people going all over the place, doing a lot of stuff because I see them happening every single day. And so it's exciting. It's exciting to see what the Flex business is doing. So we will do a lot in Flexcast today, but we're going to talk a lot about messaging today. We're going to talk a lot about how do we explain this product as we go forward. How do we talk about RUBI and how does RUBI function? And then I want to show actually some people who are really doing some incredible things to start to go out and build their business. We're going to do into a little bit more about the business and the comp plan again. We're going to keep going through that a little bit more and more and more each week because the more you see it, the more you understand it. And then, of course, the more that you can share that. And we are definitely making a shift right now into the Flex business. So, Flexcast has got 3 segments. It's got the RUBI Flexology part. We're going to talk about how the technology of Flex is there. And then we're going to talk about the Flexonomics, which is the money. And then, of course, our Flexin segment, which is about ignition. And we can never get enough of that. So let's do this. Let's get started. I always start with a very boring way of getting started, which is go to the Flex connection and get people going there. Guys, we are so close to 1,000 people. Just make it happen. Make it a goal for you guys to set up a day and go do that, because when you're driving people in there, they're actually going to start to see what is actually going on in the great community, and they need to see that. They also need to be able to see what RUBI is doing. And we have just had some really eye-opening things that I think are going to be pretty incredible as we get kind of moving through today. So let's go to the next slide. I can do that. I'm in control. All right. So Monday update call. So it is not like the next call. The next call we actually have is a BIO call, which is our brand influencer orientation. Any person that has not been through this needs to go through it, because it's going to give you the exact ways of going and building this business to get going started, the philosophy behind getting going started and fast. All of that comes into BIO. And it's on Saturday morning at 10 a.m. And of course, we have our Monday night call on Monday at 8 p.m. Central. So you can hit both of those. And this week is the BIO. So make sure that you're getting everybody there that has come in the last 2 weeks. I mean, if there's anybody that's sponsored needs to move into this, because they're going to see the bigger vision of the company. They're going to see the reason why they need to build the business right now. And this week, we're actually having a way for me to really break it down for timing, because timing is something that everybody needs to know, that it's important to be in business with timing. The wrong timing is never a success. Even if you think it's the right time and it's the wrong time, and you tell yourself you're going to still push through it, it's not going to be the success that you're thinking about. It's about the timing. And finding those timing companies, those companies in the right time is not an easy thing to do. In fact, some people will tell you that it's a once-in-a-lifetime thing that you do. And just so you all know, in this industry of network marketing, just being in early when one launches, well, that's not necessarily best timing. In fact, most people, it's horrible timing. And we'll talk about that all in the brand influencer orientation on this Saturday. Even if you've been through this, this is a good one for you to come in and get a little bit more about kind of what is going on with Flex and why the business of building is starting to move that direction. So let's do this. Let's get started into Flexology. And what we're going to do today, we're going to start talking a lot more about RUBI, but we're going to talk about how you explain RUBI. And we're also going to start talking about different messages you're going to see, things that you're starting to hear. And then we'll go deeper and deeper as we have new media assets being delivered to us. These are all amazing things. And I can just tell you, last Tuesday, what was it, 2 days ago? It wasn't that far ago. It sure seems like a long time, Corey, but it was just several days ago. We have been, really excited. And I'll just tell you that the ad agency that we hired at RUBI and the assets that are being created for us are all people I've known for over 25 years. Handled some amazing Fortune 100 companies, have done incredible things for all major brands. And I've been trying in some way or fashion to work with them. In fact, both of these people I've actually tried to hire for over 25 years. And so I just am excited about what they have. But when we went into our meeting on Tuesday, I was really excited to hear what they were talking about, because I gave them a big task, is to say, here's RUBI. How are we going to get this to be easily explained? Because it was easy when we were just doing a few things. But now that we do everything, how do we get this condensed down to where you can explain it, and you can explain it easily? And I think that we had some major breakthroughs, and I'm going to talk about those today, because if you're wanting to go and build the business, well, this is super important for you to have this knowledge. I also want to stress that sometimes it's not about how long the presentations go. It's about the content that's there, and are you keeping the interest, and are you hitting the right spot, and then are you able to close when you have them ready to go? Like, have you hit that spot? And so sometimes just having this really long presentation, which we have discovered over the last year, is really hard for people to absorb. They all think it's great. They get off the call. They're all excited. They have no clue what they just saw. They just know it's a bunch of stuff and it does some cool things and everybody's happy about it, but they don't understand what it means to them. They haven't figured it out. How do I take all this stuff that seems really scary, by the way, and how do I try to implement that into my world? That's what we're going to start to talk about a little bit today, because you're going to start to see a few things that are a little bit different in the way that we talk about RUBI, and it will help you immensely in getting the message across. And number one will be the new tagline that is now going to be on everything with RUBI. And that is RUBI AI, approachable intelligence that works. And that's it. That's all we're going to talk about, because here's the thing. We want people to be able to get to this product. It's for everybody. We wanted to democratize AI to the world, which meant that we had to make it simple. We had to make it easy. We had to take the scariness away from it. And we needed to make it affordable for the world to use. Those were the goals that we set out at the very beginning. And when you just start to talk about the reasons that we're here and how we are starting to understand what we have our hands on, it's a much easier way for us to share it with other people and have them understand. So a tagline and a brand and the imagery and everything that goes with the messaging part of a company is dire when it comes to getting your message across in a simplistic way and being able to twist it and turn it to fit different target audiences. So you're going to start seeing a lot of this. And let's just try to break down just a little bit about it, because one, what does the word approachable mean? Well, I can tell you what I know it means, because this is what we started to talk about. And Corey and I did this we've been doing this for 18 months, doing the branding, looking at everything, trying to go in direction, seeing what works, see what we like, what we don't like. And one of the things that we did at the very, very beginning, before we ever even released this, we're talking about over a year ago, is that when we came up with the name and brand RUBI, because RUBI is an acronym for Relational Understanding Based Interaction. And when you go look that up, it's about getting to understand you more, the way who you are, what you are, the more we interact with each other. And it's really a great acronym for what we want out of an AI product today. But when we started to do that, we started to think, okay, now how do we separate? How do we get to our blue ocean? And there's never going to be a day that you won't hear me talk on my favorite brand I've ever made, RUBI, about not getting into bluer water. Now, if you're new here and you don't know what that means, I'll take 2 seconds to explain it to you. Is that I don't believe that you go into a business model today and you just have your guns blazed out and you're just shooting at everything that's wrong with everybody else to make yourself look good, right? So you can't come in like, well, ChatGPT can't do this and it can't do that and they do this and this, this company does that and look at me, I can do all this stuff. That's the wrong approach. If you're using that approach, you're going to have a hard time doing that for 2 reasons. One, you got to be real careful when you have their product inside of your product as one of the features and you're ripping them down. So that's number one, right? The second thing is that there's no reason to go and slam someone else if your product is good enough to stand on its own. And there's no reason that anybody should be in a business to do something that literally has to go and cut something down to get someone to see how good yours might be. So we try to get to blue water. It means that we don't go out and try to cause a lot of bloody water stuff. We want to leave the sharks. We want to come into this water space that is all about just talking about what we are, who we are, and carve our own place out. And if you can remember back, if you were one of those people who were here at the very, very beginning when we started to launch out the messaging, you remember that we started to talk about RUBI AI, the leader of XO AI, which XO stands for Experience Optimization. And we like that because it set us into a space somewhere different than everybody else. But experience optimization was something that was going in and out very quickly, that within 3 months of us going out into that, it was like over because things were moving into a whole new world of what was needed in the world of AI. And that is why we needed to reevaluate this. But I can tell you one thing that is not being talked about today that we can own. And that is approachable intelligence. Intelligence that's easy. Intelligence that's easy to approach, easy to work, easy to do it. And then the last part that works. Because it needs to be productive. We need to be having productivity in the way that we're doing this, and it just works. You know, there's so many people, and this is 99% user error most of the time. But let's just be clear. Most people try out AI, and they're like, oh, well, that's cool and everything, but I can't use it. I would never use that. I can't use it at work. I can't use that to do anything. It's cool and everything, but there's no point to it. And the reason why they say that is because they really don't understand it. And they don't understand it because they don't know how to get the right prompts, or they don't know how to really make it work, and they don't want to spend any time to learn it. And they see how complicated things can be. And I always love to take Midjourney as an example of that, because in reality, it's really difficult. You got to have your Discord account. You got to create your account. Then you got to go to Midjourney. You got to subscribe. You got to get your subscription. Then you got to go back to Discord, and you got to go hook up with the channel for the server for Midjourney. And then you got to go through all these terms and conditions, agree to all these things, and then you're in there. And then you got to figure out, well, which group do I use? Which newbies am I going to be in? And then you get into newbies, and you see this channel that's just flying with a bunch of images just flying up, and you see everybody else's stuff. You're seeing all their prompts. You're seeing how they're generating stuff. You're seeing how it is. You can just take it and go build it on it if you wanted to. But it's just rolling everything through it. Well, then you have to learn how to do the commands. You have to learn how to, say I'm going to do Imagine, or I'm going to do a blend, or you start to have to do commands, and then you have to do your prompts. And then once you got that, you got to have all these boxes you have to choose. You're going to choose S1, 2, 3, 4, U1, 2, 3, 4, B1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, all these different things that you have to choose that you have never had anyone explain to you yet. Like, there's no training whatsoever. And then once you kind of play with it and getting some stuff going, trying to find your picture, because it's just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, because all these people are making images, and you keep finding it. Can it be done? Of course it can be done. There's a lot of people in the world using Midjourney. But I'll just tell you right now, ours is easy. You go in, you put your prompt. We have some pre-built for you that can get you there. You don't have to learn any commands. You just put a little prompt in, and wow, you get an incredible image. This is why we can say we have approachable intelligence, and we want to own that. We want to own it. We want to be part where people are saying we just want to be a part of the approachable intelligence. And that's how it all will kind of work around. And it will start to make sense the more we get deeper in our branding, the more we get people using our product, the more we can put this into the way that we actually bring our products to market. This will all be things that you guys can drive through. So a lot of cool things for you. So now I want to kind of walk through how I would be pitching this. And Corey, I know that we talked about this morning, and honestly, I can't wait to do this because, next week, I think Chris Booth is on here. I'm sure he is. I get to go spend a little time in St. Louis area with Chris Booth, and I'm super excited about it. But I'm really, really super excited about getting on the stage in front of people, being able to share this, because I've been putting this presentation together, and I really think that there's some things here that you can do and you can share in your meetings, on your online events, on your everything that you guys are doing. You can use this. And so I want to kind of walk through the way that I think you can pitch everything that deals with Flex and with RUBI. And you can do it in less than 5 minutes. So today, RUBI AI is revolutionizing the way that we interact with artificial intelligence. It's completely changing the way people do that. It changes the way that they create digital content, and it's also going to connect with their audience through approachable intelligence that works. This is all about being able to get things started in the conversation. It's one of the hardest things to do is how to start this, right? So now that we kind of get through that, let's go in and now let's get into what RUBI is. RUBI AI is the world's first AI platform that seamlessly integrates top conversational AI, personalized content creation, and a powerful creative studio, making artificial intelligence accessible and productive for everyone. This is going to the message of who we are and what we are, why we started this, what are our goals, and how do we want to do that. So that's the first two parts are done. Like that explains everything. So then let's just talk about the pieces that really matter. I was trying to go through all of these with Corey this morning. And one of the things that we really were able to pin down is, we have so many things that go on in our world inside of RUBI that all of them are important. You take one of the pieces out, then you're really missing a major component. We haven't put things in here just to make fluff, right? Everything has a purpose or it doesn't come here. Everything has a long-term partnership in mind or it doesn't come here. Why don't we have everything else that everyone's asking for? Why don't we have a one-button click to make my video that does it like this other company called NVIDIA? Or why don't we have that? Well, because a lot of legalities that are going around with that. There's a lot of reasons that it doesn't work. There's a lot of reasons that people will come in and they'll do that. That's great. They think it's awesome, but I don't think it's good for our brand. So there's a lot of pieces to the puzzle that we do when we put them in here. And in IntelliChat is one of these. And what I was telling Corey earlier is that the things that we want to talk about when we're pitching RUBI are the things that are the highlights, like the high points. And I believe that we have 3 pieces of our RUBI that are massive. In fact, they're so massive that if I broke RUBI apart, I could break it apart into 3 pieces, and each one of these would be standalone knockout apps, $20 to $30 a piece. The first one's IntelliChat. You got the world's best AIs, a collaborative AI conversation. Now, this is one of the things that I'm really excited about being able to do, because the hardest thing for people to understand about this is what that really means. But think about this. Think if I could go and have a conversation with Corey, and I'm just like every single one of you on this call right now. You're all hearing what I'm talking about, and I'm starting to talk to Corey. I'm like, Corey, tell me about Austin, Texas. Like, tell me the highlight of Austin, Texas. Unmute.
I was gonna say I don't have much good to say about Austin. I live south of Austin. I don't go north.
All right, well, give me about Buda. Why do you love living in Buda instead of in Austin?
Well, first of all, it's pronounced Buda. Second, it reminds me a lot of the small town that I grew up in.
Well, so tell me, like, what is there to do there? Just kind of, I'm having to get you to talk. It's like talking to a rodeo cowboy with you. Come on, give me something here.
So, for a while, we had the most parkland per capita, and we have a Cabela's here, and so on the Cabela's, Buda was called the outdoor capital of the world. Little big for our britches, but we have lots and lots of parkland.
Awesome. So that's awesome. And so one of the cool things about this whole way, and to demonstrate how this works, is that if I now ask any single person in this chat, and I'll do it, I'm just going to say, Heidi, tell me a little bit about why you would love to live in Buda. I'm waiting. Putting everybody on the spot here.
Let me just say,
Corey's there.
Anybody else to move here.
That's hilarious. Corey there. He's like, I'm not going to fall for this. I'm just like, I'm not playing. Because Corey, oh, well, that is a cheap out. All right. Well, here's the thing. The fact that you know that Corey lives there means that you were part of the context of the conversation. And what IntelliChat does is it takes the world's biggest, best AI conversational chats and makes it where you never have to re-explain the context of anything. It's just like having all of us on one conversation where you can hear what's going on, and I can switch from one to another, to another, to another, to another. And all of them understand exactly what the conversation was and the context, and I can ask at any time what it is that I want them to participate in. And I can't wait to do this on stage because I believe I can get 4 people to be part of this conversation, and it will make more sense to everybody in that room in 30 seconds than it will take for us to try to explain it to them if we were demoing the software and trying to do it. This right here is huge when it comes to being able to create really good content. And it's not just the content that we are able to go and create with it, but it's just the simplicity in keeping your mind going in the same direction without having to go and stop and start and start and start. And we do this all the time when we talk about the creative workflow. But IntelliChat just brings the whole world together, all in a single unified platform. So all the chats are all participating in the exact same conversation. And you never have to worry about having to go and get 500 different subscriptions. It's all in one place. Now, the second app that we could put together and just take out would be Personify. Because Personify allows you to go create detailed full value personas that let you go and talk to an audience. When you speak their language, you literally are getting them to engage and create conversions. And the more that you look at how Personify works, it's just really one of those things that takes all the guessing work out. It's like tailor making the content that's going to convert. So personify is like solving the most major pain point of content creators. So if we're just talking to the pain point, the number one pain point for any of them is to go spend all this time to go and create all of this content and get nothing. There's no reaction to it. Why? Because it's not talking to the right audience, or it's talking to them in a way that they aren't interested. So let's remove those pain points and let's get them to see a full value persona where they can go in and they can tweak it. They can make it exactly how they want. They can go in and they can take those pain points and make them more detailed. They can do whatever they believe is the next part to do this. But when you take personify and you marry that with IntelliChat, you're always going to be on message, and you're always going to have your message optimized for your specific target audience. And the best part is there's no marketing experience required. Are you going to get bigger and better? Sure, you can do it better if you start to learn more. Is it required to get you started? Absolutely not. And then you go to my favorite, which is Virtual Studio. Virtual Studio is a ultimate creative toolkit. It has anything and everything that you could possibly want to go and create masterpieces. So RUBI Virtual Studio is your all-in-one creative toolbox that's simplifying the complex tools. We just talked about all the complexities that go into like Midjourney, and we just simplify all the complexities of creating amazing stuff, and we integrate them into one powerful platform. And then you look at the next part of Canvas Plus. We're going to hear us now start to refer to this as a Canvas Plus workbench, because the workbench is where I can go and I can create anything with all the tools I am now having inside of my toolbox. So when I'm inside of the workbench, I can go and I can pull down the audio. I can go get the best images. I can go get the best music. And I can marry them all together right there inside of Canvas Plus. This is what marries it all together into a seamless production. On the workbench, you're going to be able to easily edit your videos, your audio, your images, documents, all using the cutting-edge creative tools like Midjourney, like 11 Labs, Luma AI, and of course, RUBI Music. And all of those tools, and they continue to keep growing, are all there to transform your ideas that you have into professional grade media assets. And that's what's beautiful about the Virtual Studio. So then we just talk about the price points. Because when you sit here and you talk about what we can do, it's so much bigger than what a single company, even the largest company in AI, can do. Because we have the ability to marry all of the big ones. I did this for a group in Greece this morning, which if there's anybody here from Greece, congratulations. You guys are doing incredible jobs growing. But I try to explain it to them like this, is that we literally have the biggest, brightest, massive AI producers in the world working for us every day. When OpenAI goes out and brings up O1, we love it, because why? It pushes them forward, which then what? It pushes RUBI forward. When Anthropic goes and they move to 3.5 on Opus, it's like mind-boggling what it can do. Well, that's great for them. It pushes Anthropic forward. It brings up great competition, and it also moves RUBI forward. And then you go and get this amazing thing that's happening out there in the image world. And wait till we see what happens this year in the video world. And it just keeps on pushing us forward and forward and forward. It's like we have everything being built for us around the world. Then you take it and you put it into the proprietary pieces of RUBI, where you then take all the complex, apps that are out there in the world, and you bring them together in an approachable intelligence that works seamlessly together, and it's easy. And that, guys, is the vision of who we are, all at the price of just one of those big companies that were out there. If you talk about 4 or 5 of them and you put the price down, we get you all of them starting at the same price as just one of them. And the convenience is worth 3 times the amount that you pay. So there's no reason not to really move this ball forward when it comes to RUBI. Now, all of that kind of transcends right into Flexology, because now that we kind of explained the product, and by the way, when you take this and you put a video in front of it that kind of shows it up. So if I was going to be doing this presentation, my process would be greeting. I'm here. This is who I am. This is what this company is all about. So, I mean, if you want to go back into that whole point about, okay, well, what is it? Well, the conversation starts just like this. Today, RUBI AI is revolutionizing the way that you interact with artificial intelligence, how you create digital content, and of course, how you're going to connect with your audience through approachable intelligence that works. That's who we are. And you'll find the ways that it's best for you to explain it. And then you can even go further about the culture of who we are by saying that RUBI AI is the world's first AI platform that seamlessly integrates top conversational AI, personalized content creation, and a powerful creative studio, making artificial intelligence accessible and productive for everyone around the world. Now, you can take these and you can put them in all of your words. But when you get that down, it's going to be easy to kind of get through the RUBI part. Because right after that, I would play a video, and we're going to have a really kick butt video, guys. I mean, it will explain everything that RUBI does, so you can go through with these five slides. I mean, it's just 5 slides. And then you can do the rest of the slides in a training. That's where you get people really sucked into it, because they just need enough to buy, and then you put them into the training and tell them how to use it. And you don't have to do that training. There's other things out there. There's Flexcast. There's other people. There's 365 hours up on YouTube. I mean, there's so many places that you can direct them to get information. So we just have so much stuff that can be part of it. But then you got to transition to talk about the business. If you're here to build a business, just to be a little interactive, throw some fire in real quick. Just to throw me some fire. Corey, if you'll also get a giveaway fired up. And I want to put, this is going to be a little bit of a long one, but I want this to be hashtag approachable intelligence. Hashtag approachable intelligence. And this is going to be one of those things, guys, that just need us to let it just roll off your tongue. The more that you're talking about it, what does your product do? Well, number one, we're the leader in approachable intelligence, because we just take the most complex things, make it easy, and they work. That's it. That's who we are. That's what we do. And all in a nutshell, that gets them our attention. Number one, they can do this. Now, that's all great. You get that going with the product. So hashtag approachable intelligence. Corey, you might want to throw one in there so that they can see exactly how that's going to work. Never mind. They're all doing it perfect. Awesome. Incredible. Awesome. You guys are just so good. I am going to actually do today, I'm going to do one drawing at 100 credits. I'm going to do two of them at 50, and I'm going to do 2 at 25. So we'll do them just in that order. Nope. I'm going to do them the other way. I'm going to do the 225s, the 250s, and then the 1 at 100. That's how I'm going to do the drawings. I'm going to do them right after we get through on Flexonomics, before we get into Flex. And let's talk about Flexonomics, because now we have to learn how to transition from talking about our product. And this is, if you're here and you are wanting to build a business, you want to make money, this is the trick that you have got to be able to do, and you got to be able to do it cleanly and confidently. I can't ever say confident enough, because if you are unsure of this part, it will seem unsure to everybody else. If you're doing presentations and you're not getting people to close, it's probably this one thing right here, confidence. Even if you're not positive, be confident. You can be wrong and confident. Just be confident in who you are and what you believe you have your hands on. That's super, super important. So now let's get into how we make that transition, because right now I want to make that transition into how you earn money in this business. If they are going to want to be a distributor, there is no other reason on this planet that they would want to be a distributor. Now, I know we have Selfless and we have all these incredible things that socially people are going to want to be a part of. They want to be a part of our entire organization because of just who you are. They just want to be around you. And that's great. But those aren't the people that we're talking to when we're talking about being a distributor. They can be a distributor and they can be hanging out and going to the meetings and being part of the culture. But you know that when you want to build a business, it's not those people that are probably going to just evangelize out, every single day and build a business. They have different interests. And if you really want to build this business, find someone who wants to make some money. That's who I want to talk to when I talk about distributors. So let's talk about this. There's two ways to make money in this business. One, you can go into customer acquisition, which means it's just like an affiliate. The most common thing that people are familiar with, especially in the younger generation right now, is to be an affiliate. It's cool. Influencers have made it so cool to be an influencer. So that's all it is. In fact, Corey, just make this note. That customer acquisition is gone. We're just going to call it, you can be an influencer. Because everybody wants to be an influencer. And this is a way that you can make money by simply sharing the product on your social networks and wherever you can get this in front of people, and you get customers coming in. They pay you every single month, 25% of that. That's it. Now, if you really want to make a big business, though, this is where you have to find those people that you're wanting to go and build a network with. And the network is how, if you don't really quite gather how that all is going to be working for you, is that it's easier to go find a few people to do a little bit of the work than for you to do it all. So if I'm just building it as an influencer, if I don't have 7 million people to get this out to, I'm going to have to be doing a lot of stuff. A lot of people don't have the time, nor the money, nor the know-how. So it's not for everybody to build in that fashion. But in the network, I just have to find 2 people who will help you. You'll find 2 people who now are going to go gather a handful of customers each. And now I can get 10, 20, 30, 40, 1,000 customers without having to have me go out and get 1,000 customers. And the great news is the way our comp plan is structured in our 2-team pay, they go into infinity. So if you want to make money, you have to build a network. Now, let me tell you another trick, because this is super important. And I just talked about it. We're going to talk about it in the BIO this week. Timing. It's not easy to go build this business if you're not in the right timing. And it's the same way with any. Don't think of it as network marketing. Think of it as any business that you're wanting to be a franchise to, or you want to be a distributor of a product for. Do you really think that you could go out today and position yourself to do anything major with Amway or Herbalife? Billion-dollar companies. But the days of building that big network, well, those days were gone 30, 40 years ago. So for me to build a company that if I just want to make a couple $100 a month and I wanted to have some stability, then they're an option. But if I wanted to make big money and I wanted to be part of, leveraging and finding the right business for my time, I'm going to be looking for a place that the network has not been built yet. Now, what does that mean? Well, that means that you're in the right place at the right time. That's what that means. So now you get to be able to come in here, and you can now come in and build the network and be the first to take the market. Eliminate the things that you don't ever want to hear. Like, oh, I already heard that. Or, yeah, my friend told me about that. Or, yeah, I saw that online. I actually checked it out. Actually, I'm already in. I got it on YouTube, or I got it on TikTok. Because when this thing starts to go viral, guys, it is a viral product. It's an online product that's worldwide. It's going to go crazy. So are you going to be positioned, or are you going to be chasing? Or are you just going to say, well, I was there that day? Every single person can build this. Every single person. You don't have to be a tech savvy person. You do not have to be young. But here are the things that you have to be if you're going to build a business. Number one, coachable. Maybe the way you've done things for the last 20, 30 years isn't the way that this is going to require you to be. You might need to be a little bit coachable, trainable, and willing to tweak yourself a little bit. Now, when I talk about tweak yourself, I'm not talking about changing your values, morals, ethics. I'm talking about maybe the process in how that you go about doing something. You might have to learn to do something outside of what you've normally understood before. And here's the hardest one. You got to trust. You got to trust the people above you. You got to trust that the company is going to take care of you. You got to trust that the company is going to keep driving the product forward and bring out new technologies and push things forward for you. In a day that trust is broken, it's a hard day to go build a business. But you have everything right at your fingertips right now to go and build. I like to talk about 3 ways to make money. There's 8. I only want to talk about 3. I want to show them how they can make money right now. I already told you can be an influencer and get a customer bonus for 25% of everyone that comes in. That does it not just the first month, but every month after. It's that simple. You want to make, $1,000 a month, you can totally do that right here on just doing a customer bonus. Second way to make immediate money is a fast start bonus. And why do we have these 2 at the front? Well, there's the lifestyle bonus, the fast start bonus, and customer bonus. All 3 of these pay you upfront money. Like, you don't have to wait for the leverage to kick in. You can start making money right now by the efforts that you put in. The fast start bonus is essentially the same thing as a customer bonus, except it only happens on the first order, and it only happens on an influencer, and you get paid more money. Instead of getting 25%, you're going to get 40%. And if that person that you sponsored is going to connect to one of your 2 pay legs, a direct to your left or a direct to your right, you're going to get all 50%. If you have your left and your right already full, congratulations, you've already collected the 10% from somebody else if it wasn't from you. And you're going to have to put your new person on the bottom left or bottom right of somebody else. And they're going to get the 10%. You're going to get the 40. And there's going to be a major way to do this, because this is going to fuel in the way that we can market in the Flex power line. Now, I'm not going to get into that because I have never used a power line, and I can just tell you right now that's Dan. And the day that kicks off, that's going to be the day that you're going to be listening to Dan, and he'll tell you how to get it going and drive it. But I can tell you what it has done. I've seen these things work where you get millions of people into these things within just a few short months. And we want to definitely be able to push this out there. So our plan was designed with that in mind. And then the last thing that you really need to know how to explain is the 2-team pay. And it's real simple. It's 2 teams. There's one left and one right. This is all that you're ever going to be required to build. You don't have to go 5 legs or 12 legs or 40 legs. You literally could go 1 person left and 1 person right and qualify to make up to $20,000 in just this one way of getting paid. If those people decided to go straight down and they built somebody up, and then somebody else built it up, and they could do $20,000 of volume each leg each month, and you're like 20 grand. There's no other qualifier. That's it. You can get up to $20,000 by just getting one person left and one person right. And when you do that, you've actually started the entire cycle for building all of this entire comp plan by just helping them go get their 2 people and helping them go get their 2 people and helping them go get their 2 people. And you're going to find somebody that goes out and gets 10 people. And then you're going to get excited because you see that you're making all this money and you're like, well, I only sponsored one left and one right. Well, what would happen if I go sponsor another one left and another one right? Oh my gosh, now it's working twice as fast. Now I'm going to go get 10 left and 10 right. Now it's 10 times as fast. In fact, I'm going to go get 20 left and 20 right. And I'm going to do that in a year. That's going to be your goal. Guys, this is about leveraging. And then the bigger the team you have, the more people you have that can talk about the product, the more product that's getting moved into the market. The bigger your market share gets, the bigger your territory gets. And you can do this as quick as you want. I talk about the first 48 hours to make sure that those people get their first 2 people. I want this done in the first 48 hours. I sponsor somebody in the first 48 hours. They have what I call a pod. That means that they're qualified to make money. And what do? I want to go work with these people so that they can go get their 2. Guys, that's all that this is about. And don't make it anymore. And if you think that $20,000 is not enough for you a week, it's okay. Because the biggest part of our check doesn't even come from that. If you're really going to be building this business, and by the way, you see this way before you ever get to the $20,000 a week in the 2-team pay. Just as you're starting to go and you're starting to make $1,000 a week in the 2-team pay, pretty soon your check goes to $1,500 to $1,700 to $2,300, and you're like, why is it doing this so fast? My 2-team pay is really not growing that much on the 2 sides. It's doing it because you're hitting all the check matches. And so when you hit your sponsorship match, well, I can now match the people that I sponsored. And it doesn't matter if they're on the left or on my right. It doesn't matter. They can be anywhere in this part, and I am going to make money on them. The global bonus pool, it doesn't matter. I just have to hit the rank. So it's all about volume. Then, of course, we have our diamond level one-time bonuses. I can't wait to give these checks out. It's like the best day in the world when you are able to give those checks out for $10,000 to $150,000. And it's amazing to see what it does for people. And guys, that's it. That's all there is to pitching this whole comp plan. And you just tell people how to get started. Now, I'm going to tell you how I would be telling people to get started. And by the way, $100 Premium Plus is supposed to have been out. I just hit Dan. Dan was finding out why it wasn't showing in the back office. I think he just didn't make it visible. It's live. You can go out now and you can do $1,000 annual and you can get the $100 premium. Okay? I would be starting everybody right there. Even if they're not an agency or even because I want them to be using the heck out of it. I want them demoing it. I want them to think, and the last thing I want them to do is be worried about, what happens if I use too many credits? I want them to be building up unbelievable talent and using it. I also want them to be able to make some money. I want you to be able to make money, and this is a good way to get them started with the right package. They can come down to the 55. They can come down to the 30. It's up to their usage. But I want to be bringing everybody in at the top because that's just giving them a good place to start. And it's not something that they have to do every month. You're in control. You sign up, you come in, you go to your auto ship and you set your auto ship up. Whichever subscription you want, after that, that's up to you. But this is how I do it because it's going to be putting a lot more volume into your business. And it's making someone make a commitment to the business. It's really hard to get someone really excited about something if they come in for 20 years. Okay? It's just hard. There's nothing in the skin. I mean, that's like going to McDonald's for them. It's like they won't even think about it. In fact, that's one of the worst things about the product that we have is that we want to make it affordable to the world. And to make it affordable to the world, we have to be down in these price points. And people just don't even think of it as a real business because they're like, oh, what can $20 do for me? I can tell you what $20 is going to do for you if you stay in this until the end of 2020. It's going to change your life. It's that simple. You have the opportunity of the best timing to go run a viral product that you'll probably find in your lifetime. And so we just have to make it move. We have to get going. And so when you come in at 20, man, it's going to be really hard to say, hey, I'm going to work down. I'll tell you what, it really does depend on where it is. I mean, if $20 is all you have and you're like, I want to go build this business, that's one thing. But if you can't put $100 into your business to get it started, you're probably not that serious about building the business yet. Maybe you need to come in at 55. Okay. Just make a commitment. Just be part. Go get your first 2 in 48 hours. When you do that, guys, you're going to find out this business, number one, is the most fun business you'll probably ever do. Number two, this could be one of the most profitable ones because we have a real sticky product. And the third thing is that you're going to find that this is going to improve not just this business, but all the other businesses that you're in because of a product that can do a lot. It's not just for this group. It's for every part of your life. And it's here right now for you. All right, Corey, how many people do we have in our great little, let's see, approachable intelligence? That is a long one. You couldn't even get it all in there.
Nope. I tried to resize it. It wasn't having it.
All right. Well, we got people who are not in there. I don't know why, but maybe they didn't type it right. But we're going to go ahead. This is what we're doing. Make sure, if you don't see your name through here, make sure you spelled it right. Make sure you're getting in. And we're going to go ahead and go. And this one's going to be for $25. I'm going to get our 25 credits. I'm going to 2 of those away. So 2 $25 credits. Go ahead and run the first one, Corey, and let's get these going. I'll get you some music here while we do that. And how about we do a little – we haven't updated our music over here in a while. I need to do that. So all right, Ava Booty, congratulations. All right, good for you, 25 credits. It's almost sad to see you win right there because now you're out for the 25 and 50s or the other 50s and 100s. Sorry, but congratulations, you won 25. All right, let's begin. And we got some more people in. That's great. There we go. We're starting to get some people in. All right, to see our second 25 winner. If Corey does this, Corey's – oh, my goodness, there's Heidi Wild. All right, 25 for Heidi. Good. Congratulations. And I know that Heidi would love to let other people win that one, so that's awesome. All right, now we're going to do 2 at 50. 50 credits right now for 2 of these drawings. All right, Larry Scanlon. Wow, good to see you, Larry. I hope that you were feeling well. That is awesome. 50 credits for you, buddy. I need to catch up with you. I'm going to be in your neck of the woods, and maybe we can spend a little time. All right, here we go. Our second $50, or I keep saying dollar. Eventually, I'm going to have to give that away. Ranisha Ahmad, you are now going to have 50 more credits than you had before. And we're going to do one more for the 100. For the 100 credits. Who's going to be the winner? Come on, Corey. Give us a lucky one here. It's going to be you, I bet. Pam Huffman. All right. I'm excited for you. Congratulations. I see so much good stuff coming out of these people that have been winning. I'm super excited about our entire teams that we are putting together. So congratulations to all you guys. It pays to show up, and we are glad to have you all here. Let's go ahead and do some flexing now. This is actually one of my favorite pieces to do, and that is our time to go ahead and do a little bit of recognition. And I like to talk about recognition in so many different ways. We are going to come out with a bunch of ways of doing recognition. We're going to do the customer gatherers. We're also going to do those that put in the most reps. We're going to be talking about all kinds of stuff. And we're actually even talking about bringing in some trips. So we're going to do a lot of stuff that's going to start to drive some incentives. We think everybody's good in incentives, but I like it because when those incentives get met, we get to go hang out and do some stuff together. And I get to know you even more. But this week's influencer of the week, last week, I'll just say, was Angela Sinzali. Congratulations on her last week. But this week, we're going to go clear across the world to Australia for Lisa Revel. I am so excited about what she's doing. Number one, she's just building this business every day. And she's so helpful. I mean, she loves to speak her mind. She loves to tell us what we need to be doing and how we could do it better. And I love that because we can't get better if we don't have good, honest truth coming back. And she does that, but she also is so good at taking care of people and caring about people. And that is why, Lisa Revel, you are taking 100 credits to Australia for this week's Flexcast. All right. So one of the things that we have not done in a while is our music. And so I think what we're going to do, because we had a lot more success and people playing with it and getting engaged when we had themes. And so next week, we're going to go back to bringing themes into the Flexcast for music. And we'll talk about that. And it doesn't have to be RUBI music, but you can do all kinds of music themes and you can do your own. But we're going to actually talk about that. We'll show that back up on Monday. We'll post it. And here's the thing. You will not be able to, spend weeks waiting. You got to get going because we will cut them off on Wednesday night. Wednesday night's the cutoff for those. And so on this week, you'll only have 3 days to get those in. But we'll make sure Corey's telling you about all of that and getting everything going. Let's talk about one last little thing before we go, and that's just on the corporate side, some things that you can expect to be seeing in the next few weeks. Some new materials coming in. Obviously, we'll be doing decks and putting some stuff out. We're going to have new video stuff. We're actually going to have a lot of cool new assets that we can bring out because of what we're getting done, in the town here. I'm super excited. Can't wait to get my hands on them. And then you are going to be able to take those out and push them out. And I think you're also going to find that the emailing platforms that we're now going to be pushing out when all of that's finished and we have all the messaging done, when we have all the graphics done, we have all the templates done, we're going to start reaching back out and driving your business, driving everybody's business through, have you done this or have you done that? Have you tried this with RUBI? And this deep diving into how we can push people to use the product and become more approachable into using the product of RUBI. And then we're also going to be looking at how do we spur people to get back in there. If they fall off, we're going to be reaching back out the reconnects so that we can bring them back into you guys. So all of that's coming in just a few weeks. We'll push all that back out. So October is going to be a fun week or a fun month. We also have targeted dates for some big releases like Closer. That's a big one that's sitting out there. Our workflow automation is a big one sitting out there. So all of those are driving in, and we're just super, super busy trying to get a lot of stuff out the door. But at the same point in time, there's some points in the world of development that you step back a second and you just clean everything and make sure everything's good for the expandability and the flexibility for us to go different directions. And so we kind of been doing some of that. But we're always moving forward. And I think you're going to see some new releases here shortly. We were trying to get them out last week, trying to get them out this week still. It's just about man hours to try to get everything done. I'm not going to put something out that's not going to be completely working, but we do have some fixes that definitely need to get pushed out over the next 24 hours. We know those are coming up for you. So with that, Corey, unless I have totally missed anything, I think we can take it out of here. What do you think?
I think this has been a pretty meat and potatoes filled Flexcast. I think we covered everything.
Awesome. Well, I hope you all enjoy it. I hope you love everything. I'm going to leave you with a little bit of Oklahoma music because this is what I like. And we'll see you guys on Saturday at the brand influencer orientation. Oh, I got to bring the audio up. See, Corey? There. We're getting. Good night, everybody.
Right outside of this one church town, there's a gold dirt road to a whole lot of nothing. Got a deed to the land, but it ain't my ground. This is God's country. We pray for rain and thank him when it's falling, 'cause it brings a grain and a little bit of money. We put it back in the plate. I guess that's why they call it God's country. I saw the light in a sunrise, sitting back in a 40 on the muddy riverside, getting baptized in holy water and shine with the dogs running. Saved by the sound of a pin-found Dixie whistle in the wind, that'll get you heaven bound. The devil went down to Georgia, but he didn't stick around. This is God's country. We turn the dirt and work until the week's done. We take a break and break bread on Sunday, then do it all again, 'cause we're proud to be from God's country. I saw the light in a sunrise, sitting back in a 40 on the muddy riverside, getting baptized in holy water and shine with the dogs running. Saved by the sound of a pin-found Dixie whistle in the wind, that'll get you heaven bound. The devil went down to Georgia, but he didn't stick around. This is God's country. Headstone reads or what kind of pine wood box I end up in. When it's my time, lay me 6 feet deep in God's country.